All right, many chatters, hope you're ready for this. This is the sequences video, and the way that I like to describe what sequences are, because people ask, like, what is a sequence? What is a sequence versus a flow? What are all these things that you're talking about all the time? And sequences, it's really simple. Sequences to me are just autoresponders for Messenger. So, sequences are kind of a legacy concept that we borrowed from the email marketing industry. If you've been doing email marketing and for a while, you probably know what an autoresponder is. It is a series of messages that are sent out in a timed sequence that is it's really just designed to drip out content over a period of time to people. So we borrowed that concept from email marketing, and here it is in ManyChat. And we are going to look at how you can use these to communicate with people over time in a kind of a fun way. So let's go check that out. You find sequences in automation because, again, this is kind of one of those automated things that the bot can do. And we're going to go into sequences, and we have an example sequence set up here, but I'm going to create a brand new one because this example sequence is kind of fun, but it's not that useful. So keep in mind that we're building a Facebook page for, let's just go ahead and go back to the dashboard. We're building a Facebook page and a bot for this Facebook page, Messenger Marketing and Chatbot Mastery. It's for this very course, to promote the course. So let's think through for a moment, like what might be useful to somebody to keep them engaged until we actually launch the course, because we don't want people to forget about us. Everybody's busy with their lives, and we want to keep them up to date and having fun in our bot so that we can broadcast to them and let them know when that course is available. So let's go ahead and go into automation and go into sequences, and let's think this through. Let's create a new sequence, and let's call this daily quiz. This might be really ambitious to do live, but I'm going to do it anyway. So we're going to create, and immediately this is what you see. You see schedule on the left side with all these different time delays, and then you see our active indicator. So if you click that message is active, and the message and what it says and all that stuff. So what we're going to do is I'm going to think about what I want to do with this quiz. And what I'd like to do is when somebody clicks that they want to get notified about our course getting launched, I want to subscribe them to this sequence. So this sequence is going to give them a daily quiz just with one question about ManyChat to help get their minds going for that product launch that we're doing. So, oh wow, this is going to be interesting. I don't know if this is going to work totally live, but I'm going to try it because I think that this is a fun example. So let's go ahead and shoot them a message one day after they subscribe. And actually, I only want to send these on weekdays. So I'm going to go ahead and hit any day, and we're going to just do Saturdays and Sundays. And we're going to uncheck those two because I don't want to send these on the weekends. Monday through Friday. Wonderful. Save and update schedule. Okay. Keep in mind, this is a little tool tip just to help you. Keep in mind, if you're building this and if people are subscribing to this on a Saturday or Friday night or Sunday, they're not going to get that message until the next business day. So there might be you might see delays because of that if you only select weekdays, for example. So just keep that in mind. Anytime. I don't want to send this anytime. I actually want to send this in between. I don't even want to send it that early. Let's do it between like 11 and not as late as 10 p.m. Let's just do like 11 and 4. Okay. Wonderful. Save and update schedule. And you can do this for every message, by the way. You can be really granular about how you send these. So let's just label this. Let's go in here and actually think about what we want to say. I think that this could be a fun chance to do a quick quiz. So what we're going to say is introduction content. Let's go to Flow Builder because I like working in the Flow Builder. It's just a nice looking thing. And we're going to say just a few more days until this messenger marketing and chatbot mastery course goes live. And we are going to give it an emoji. Yeah. Let's go ahead and delete this. And then let's give it a delay. What we'll do is we will say text. Want to test your ManyChat knowledge in the meantime. And then what we will do is we will give them quick replies. I just like giving people quick replies because it sends them down particular paths. So just like I was saying before. Okay, so let's go ahead and click it. Keep in mind that you can click in and out of the editor just by clicking inside the sandbox here, clicking right on the card. Quick reply. Let's do it. And I like the little strong arm symbol. Let's see if we can find that. Yeah. And then not today. Cool. So see how we're already putting together a little conversational flow? And what we're going to do now is we're going to have a little fun. We are going to make a little quiz, just one quiz question. And what I'd really like to do is label this, and we'll say day 1. Do you want to test your knowledge? Cool. Let's do it. And then we'll do a delay block. I love putting delay blocks at the beginnings of things because it just kind of buffers out conversations. Wonderful. Wonderful, Dan. First, wonderful, Dan. Question incoming. Quiz question incoming. Let's call it that. And then we'll give it a delay. And then let's figure out something clever to quiz you guys on. This is let me just think of some of the questions we get the most in the Facebook community. Let's go ahead, and the way that I'd like to structure this is that the replies that I want to get from somebody who takes this quiz need to be pretty simple, and they need to fit inside of a quick reply. So let's think this through. What? Oh, this is a fun one. Send message. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rename this quiz, pre-launch quiz, question 1. And what I will do is let's just scroll over here. Quiz question incoming. Typing text. Okay, here's the question. How many Facebook pages can you manage with ManyChat? Okay, and we will give a few quick replies as answers. Quick reply. We will say, what is the maximum amount of what is the maximum amount of Facebook pages? That's an even better question. What is the maximum number of Facebook pages you can manage? What is the maximum number of Facebook pages you can manage with ManyChat? And we were gonna do quick reply. We're gonna say 5. We're gonna do a quick reply that says 10, 50, and then 100 plus. Actually, say unlimited. This will be fun. Okay, so check it out. We've given some answers. Since we're using quick replies, if they choose one of these, they actually won't be able to go back and like fix their answer. So let's go ahead and create an answer to this one. Send a message. And we'll call this the answer 5. We will do answer too low. And what we're going to do is actually, funny enough, you can definitely manage 5 pages. You can definitely manage 10 pages. And you can definitely manage 50 pages. I've seen it happen. The thing is that we don't know actually how many pages you can attach to ManyChat because no one's actually broken it yet. So what we can do is that for all these answers, these are all too low. So what we can do is we can do a little delay block. And we can say, ha, you underestimate our strength. Yeah, Padawan. Um, and then we're going to say text. We have agencies who manage 50 plus individual Facebook pages with chat. Isn't that crazy? And then what we can do is we can do a continue to another step because this is a fun thing to test. We'll do send a message. Thanks for participating. This is just a really simple flow. Okay, this is kind of silly, but I'm just trying to demonstrate what you can do with sequences and how you can actually keep audiences warm using the sequences feature. And what we're going to do is we're going to give it another delay, and we're going to say, really appreciate wait to get this course into your hands. Okay, cool. And we'll give it a quick reply, and we will do a little emoji action. Just give it a heart because hey, let's yeah, it's all about love. And then maybe you can't just do an emoji, and we'll do this. Why not? And then we'll do a fun little interaction like this. Cool. Heart. All right, this is just a fun, silly little interaction. Unlimited. Let's set these people straight. Thanks, but we don't actually know. And what I'm going to say is, wow, thanks for the vote of confidence. First name. We have a confession, though. Typing for 3 seconds. Actually, let's bring it down to like 2. It's just a nicer transition. And we're going to say, we don't actually know how many pages. We don't actually know the maximum amount of pages you can manage without breaking something. Um, That being said, we have agencies who manage over 50 Facebook pages. With ManyChat with no problems. Well, not no problems, without much of an issue. Okay, cool. So basically what I'm trying to show you here is that you can create these fun little interactions for people, and they're kind of low impact, and you don't have to create the world's best quiz to just get a little bit of interaction. And I think that that's really what's the magic of sequences is. So just clean that up. I have a little flow, a little quiz flow. We're going to publish this. Please specify. Oh, so I keep forgetting to build the, I always stick with the positive, like the affirmative branches. Let's go to the negative branches because it's always good to deal with people who don't want to hear from you. Want to test your ManyChat knowledge in the meantime? Not today, thanks. No. Quiz, daily quiz opt out. Daily quiz opt out. No problem. First name. Will send you another head scratcher soon. So do another ManyChat head scratcher soon. So here's the thing. I'm using a colloquialism, specifically, I think an American English colloquialism here, head scratcher. Not everybody in the universe is going to know what a head scratcher is. Head scratcher in American English means something that is kind of like puzzling, perplexing, something which you wouldn't understand the answer to right away when you're asked. It's just a funny way of saying that. English is, especially American English, is full of these strange idioms. Every language has them. It's always good to use the jargon of the people who you're targeting. It's another like copywriting technique to build rapport with people. This might not make sense to a Brazilian Portuguese person, but it will make sense to a US based marketer. Does that make sense, guys? There's a little bit of copywriting technique stuff that I love to build into conversational messages. So publish. It looks like this is going to publish and not throw any errors my way. So let's take a look at what we did on a macro scale. We went and go ahead and created a sequence called Daily Quiz. And we created the first message. And I'm going to rename this because I think that this is day one. How many pages can manage? And what this is going to do is it's going to help us kind of keep this a little bit cleaner. And what we've done is we've set it to send after one day between 11 and 4 p.m., 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. And that's anchored to your time zone. So you, the ManyChat admin, this knows what your browser time is and it schedules it to that. So this isn't going to send between 11 and 4 in their time zone. We're working on that. We're thinking about maybe fixing this so that it sends specifically between 11 and 4 in their time zone. I think that probably would be much more useful than anchoring it to your time zone. It's really tricky to do, though, so we're still working on the technology behind how that could happen reliably. But for now, this is going to be good enough. So we're going to go ahead and activate this message. I clicked too fast, and this message should be active. So now let's extrapolate a little bit. You could create day 2, day 3, day 4, and you could time these after one day, one day after this. So what we would choose here is this message will be sent at least 1 day after the previous message. And we'll choose send between 11 and 4, just like we did with the last one. And we will say only weekdays, please. Save and update schedule after 1 day, and we could call this day 2. And this question could be, do you have to be an admin on the Facebook page itself to administer ManyChat? And the answer, of course, is I'm not going to tell you. You're going to have to find that out on your own. But the point here is that you could create a whole sequence of these quizzes and just provide a little touch point for your subscribers so that you keep them warmed up. This is really what these sequences are for. It's to keep people warmed up, especially in regards to certain campaigns. This would be a really great campaign for launching a course, for example. So let's go back to sequences. And we have this first message built out, but there's nobody who's going to get this message because we don't have this attached to anything. So this is where the cool stuff comes in. So let's go ahead and go back into the flows that we built already. Like we've already built a main menu, for example. How do I get access? I know for a fact that in the how do I get access part of this flow, there is a chance for people to get notified when we launch this course. So one thing that we can do is to keep these people engaged and happy, we can add another action here that says subscribe to sequence, and we will select the daily quiz and we will publish it. This is a really wonderful way to keep people engaged, and basically anybody who signs up for anybody who goes through this flow and says sign me up gets added. They'll get this tag added and they'll be subscribed to the daily sequence called Daily Quiz. It's a really clever way to do this, and it'll keep them kind of juiced up and ready to jump on that chance to get that course because they're already in the mindset of thinking about how ManyChat works, and what better way to kind of keep somebody warmed up than to do this. So that's how sequences work. Let me just double check. Molly sent me a list of things to cover, so let me just check on my phone, make sure that we have everything set up correctly. I showed you some of the ways that you can, let's go to sequences real quick again. Some of the things that you can do to time it correctly, which is really nice. Okay, we just launched a new feature in sequences a couple days ago, and this has been so sought after. The ability to duplicate sequences. So let's just say that you create this whole sequence full of different flows and you just don't want to have to duplicate it again, or you don't want to have to like copy and paste all that content into another thing. You can now duplicate this, which is incredible. Do you want to clone the sequence? We're going to confirm. And Daily Quiz Copy 1 exists right there. It doesn't have any entry points though, because you have to specifically choose this sequence in any action. And there it is. So whether or not that's on doesn't matter. It's not connected to anything, but you can now clone sequences. Pretty big deal. What other stuff can I teach you about sequences? All the stats here are good. I mean, this will show you how many times this is sent, how many times people clicked on stuff, the open rate, click-through rate. This is all good stuff to kind of keep in mind. You want to see a good click to open rate, good open rate to CTR ratio. You know, basically you can keep an eye on these stats to understand, is the stuff I'm sending people engaging? And the lower these numbers are, the more data that you have that maybe you need to change your approach. Maybe you need to shorten your messages. Maybe you need to think more about creating fun little engaging things like this, instead of just sending blocks of text like a lot of people try to do. So that's my daily quiz sequence. What else can I teach you about this? Troubleshooting this. So let's just say you want to subscribe yourself to this sequence to test it. Well, here's one of the quirky things about sequences is once you're subscribed to a sequence, it's just like you gotta wait. You gotta wait, especially if I turn this message on and created a flow in there. You're gonna have to wait a day to test it. I haven't figured out, like we as a product team, we have not figured out a way to make testing these sequence messages better. God, if we could crack the code on this, I think more people would use sequences because right now one of the barriers to people using this is simply they're kind of hard to test. Because if you set it up to send after one day of subscription, you have to wait a day for this thing to send. If you want to see it how the subscribers see it. So this is a tricky thing. To test this thing, at least to know that the automations are working, we could also just go through a flow, and let's just see actually if we can do that. So let's go trigger the default reply, or actually we could just choose the main menu here. How do I get access? That's the main menu, by the way. We're so glad you asked. Let's just go through this flow, and what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to get myself to get re-tagged in this sequence so that I at least get subscribed, so I can show you in my subscriber profile that the action that I put inside of here will actually subscribe me. Sign me up. Okay. Got a little bit of a delay on the block. Okay, Dan, you're in. We can't wait for you to get your hands on this course. Let's go take a look and see if I got subscribed properly. I think I set up the right tag. Daily quiz. There I am. I actually got subscribed the way that I thought I should. So just to prove to you that the automations work, it's just a matter of waiting a day to get that first message, which is a pain. It's really hard to troubleshoot. We don't have a better way of doing it yet. We have some of the brightest minds in the product world trying to figure this out for us, but we'll get there someday, guys. Okay, that's been sequences. This next video that I'm going to be making is the grand finale, and it is all about the flow builder. We've seen the flow builder a lot in all of these videos in module 2, but we're going to break down what the flow builder really is and how you can best implement it in the next video, and I really look forward to it.